What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here, and today I'm here to bring you a little bit of an update on what I am doing in League. I know it's about 2 months into League, or a little more now, and League is going to be ending sooner than later, but I have been doing a lot of content and just a lot of stuff in general to keep myself busy. So one thing I will say is that, I went and, did the holiday thing with the family, so I didn't really feel the need to record while I was at the folks' house. I was still playing, but it's kind of awkward to go to your folks' house and be like, oh, I'm going to go record a video. And I didn't. That being said, I just wanted to kind of show off a little bit of an update of my gear and gear choices and what I am doing. I am still doing the same thing I was before, except I have upped my DPS significantly and managed to get just an insane amount of quality of life going for me. As you see, we have a diamond flask going, a phasing flask going because we're doing delve, a quicksilver with reduced effect shock, a reduced freeze and chill duration, and immunity to poison. This makes it so we don't have to worry about really anything. However, the poison is really a non-factor. Honestly speaking, you can probably drop this for a sulfur flask with like increased effect and something else, maybe attack speed, and you would probably just be hard pressed to find a better replacement. Eventually, I'll get around to rolling one, but as of now, I've just been kind of, chilling. So we only have one 6-link setup for damage, and it's our lightning arrow. And we have an Il's Uprising with a hatred mana, reserves no mana. Now we chose this because there's quite a few of them that are decent, but hatred also has nearby enemies grant 25% increased flash charges. Well, that's 25% increased on these two, so this makes it means so these proc more often. Now, obviously I don't take damage on this setup, so I don't really need to gain my life back, correct? Well, that's true, but there's still a little bit of like a nuance to having them going. And if I have them going all the time, I just don't have to worry about anything. For example, if as long as I have this up, I'm good to go. As long as I have this up, I have regen in case I manage to manage to not be invulnerable for the time being. Reduce effective curses means I won't get one shot by vulnerability. That is an issue, is that vulnerability can one shot you if there's enough damage behind it. It's I think at its current effect, I think I have about 98% reduced effective curses. Now it's really strong as is, but if you wanted to take it to T1, you would get over 100% effective reduced effective curses, which is good enough. Even at 1% of vulnerability effect, it's still enough that some damage does trickle through. And if you look at my resistances, we are res capped aside from lightning and chaos. Now, you can res cap or you can just drop these altogether. I was actually running with all negative reses for a while, but I realized that being one shot randomly just didn't feel good. So I just decided against it. Now the next thing I will say is that our gym links have been updated a bit. We are using Trinity support, added lightning support, added cold damage support, LE damage with attacks so we don't take reflect, awakened Shane, and Phantasmal Lightning Arrow, which has a chance to hit additional enemy. So this is basically our clear and single target at once. We don't have to worry about switching out any gems, but if we want to, we can drop our added cold, which is right here, for GMP, which would give us, insane damage. However, it would turn off Trinity. It would basically only be for maps that we have issues clearing and we need to clear faster, and we don't have the issue with damage. Our helm is still an Asnash Chant with Lightning Arrow, hits 2 targets. This is really good for clear, so that's all we're looking for is clear. We only have 2 arrows because we have a Void Flesh with additional arrow and 1 natural arrow as Pathfinder. We're using High-Res Ire with Onslaught when hit. Now, because this build is invulnerable, I want to be hit, so I'm in the middle of the mobs. We have a movement speed during Flask Effect Malagaros, so basically it's always up. I never not have that increased movement speed. And then this I found recently. If you remember what I said about the method for making this work, you have to have reduced effect of non-damaging ailments. Now this doesn't matter what role it is if you're using this bow. I'm going to iterate that just so you guys can kind of understand. As long as you have this modifier, the reduce effect of non-damaging elements, at any role or any tier, it'll work as long as you have this bow. If you're not using this bow, however, it doesn't work. So the reason why we chose this is for a couple reasons. First of all, it dropped like this and was very, very low effort to quality it to 4 green. So after getting it to 4 green, we just put them on, And as you see here, we have life gain on kill, which is another way to sustain our life. We have added flat lightning damage to attacks. We have chance to blind enemies when they hit you. And we have our totem duration. Now, totems aren't really good for me right now. However, one thing I will note is that a min-max version of this build would use something like Ensnaring Arrow with a Ballista Totem support, in which case you would basically be able to sit there and, you know, drop those down on a boss and kill them faster. Now, with the duration being longer, it means you drop them less. Obviously, you know, we have that right here. Ballista Totem supports Ensnaring Arrow, but I just have been too lazy to put it in. Um, when it happens, but for now, it's just kind of whatever. Our armor, we have Herald of Ice linked with Hypothermia, increased crit. And then we have Anomalous Wrath. Now, Hypothermia increased crit means our Herald of Ice shatters are a little bit bigger and more consistent. We have Wrath because we are trying to proc Trinity. If you look here, our Trinity is definitely online. I learned this not only through a video, but a friend of mine, he said your lowest high-end damage has to be lower than the highest of your low-end damage. If you see there, 6138 through 10,000 damage versus 388 to 7,800 damage. So 6,100 being lower than the 7,800 means Trinity will proc, and I will have resonance for all three. Trinity gives you 15 pin, and it gives you more multiplier for each of these elements, which ends up being, because I am dipping into two elements, a lot more damage. Another big thing to note here is because we are using this bow, we have 11,000 chaos damage flat for a really big amount of damage overall. So we don't really have issues critting, so we don't really want inspiration. That's just kind of a meh kind of gem selection for us, so it is what it is. Now, in our gloves, we are using the Asnat's Gentle Touches. Our amulet, as you saw, was anointed with the Whispers of Doom. This allows us our Explode mechanic, and our Explode mechanic isn't really scaled off of anything. We aren't converting anything. It's just a way to clear a lot more efficiently, basically, and gives us another way to like, you know, pop corpses and stuff like that. Another thing it does is it puts the curses on the corpses, which enemies walking up to those corpses will then be cursed and be able to explode. That's a very, very good effect. So then obviously Void Fletcher with additional arrow. Void Fletcher just gives you a lot of flat and void shots are really insane for just overall anything you need them to do. And then we have our Blood Rage, our Second Wind Dash, and our Precision at level 20. Our helmet, we have Hydro's Shear, Creeping Frost, Bone Chill Support, and Sniper's Mark. Now, you don't really need these exact setup as I have. This is more for Ice Shot or for even Barrage with a deck stack cold convert. However, it is not overall a bad thing to have. As you saw, our cold damage was actually really solid. We have 10k cold damage, and that is more than enough for it to be scaling our our damage favorably. So that being said, I guess I'll just put in a quick showcase real quick, just kind of show you. It's going to be a little longer as I do these, you know, with as juiced up as possible. Right now, I'm not doing full juice 4 scarabs. I am doing breach, double breach with a breach scarab and expedition scarab in tandem. I usually put beasts or alvas or syndicate, whatever I'm in the mood for. For the sake of this video, because it's actually a little easier to deal with, I'm going to do beasts and breach, and that's going to pay for all the slots that I need to take care of. And let's get going. Now, I believe I have sextants left on it. I do. Okay. Let's see, is it going to tick off? It looks like it already ticked off. That's fine. Our sextants are Gloom Shrine. They're just basically random ones I hit on there. We have Gloom Shrine, Chaos damage, Lightning damage, and Strong Boxes, which is just adding to the layers of Delirium. Basically, I have a friend who is farming the Unatol Vow, and to help him out, I have been doing everything I can to bring out Breach Stones. Now, this is a multi-pronged kind of assault, in my opinion. One of these ways is me buying up a bunch of orbs and, you know, running orbed maps. The other way is buying the scarabs and running the scarab maps, and combining those, you just have a lot more efficient stuff. Then you have, you know, the Watchstone setup. I have 4 Ulnatol because that's the hardest one to get. He doesn't need Chayula because he's only running the 4 Breach Lords. So it is what it is, and it's making me currency on the side. Another thing, I am doing is running scourge maps, and this is a really good way to scourge your maps because they are really juicy. So you're able to scourge quite a few times while you're doing this, and adding pack size to your scourged maps is, without a doubt, very beneficial. Alright. So, other than that, I've had a pretty decent holiday season. I hope everyone else has, and they're, y'all are enjoying yourselves. This is just something I wanted to kind of both show off and, show you a little bit about. I know you've seen it before, but this is the build. Basically, I sit around holding square. That is literally the entirety of my build. I don't really have to worry about anything. Looks like we found a beast. That's Scourge. Oh, we lagging. Oh, okay, we're good. Alright, we have a Kossis here. Alright, so this is basically, our... He's now our punching bag, pretty much.
This one is captured. I now will take it.
Okay, so he attacked Einar for some reason. Alright, that is Kossis. It's only 40% Delirious. This is a T16 map, so he does have a fair amount of damage, but obviously, he does no damage. Omniphobia showed up. Alright, that's fine. We'll deal with Omniphobia after we clear a little more of the Scourge. Yeah, because there's so much to do in these, it's usually better if you just inch your way and loot after. Because there's so many things you gotta deal with. Let's try and kill Omni real quick here. Well, not try, he's going to die. And he's dead. Now we will Scourge again. Alright. So yeah, pretty much this is the build. I know you've seen me do a very long video of me fighting, what is it, Owl. Well, I've fought him another 10-15 times and have the uprisings to prove it, along with a bunch of precursors emblems. Lately, he hasn't been showing up in my delve, but I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I'm pretty delved out for a little bit, so I switched my gears to farming breaches, and it's helping a friend out at the same time, so I might as well knock out multiple birds with one stone. Looks like we actually got lucky and got a ritual on this map. This is really good for juicing too, so. What, did Kossis get trapped here? I don't think he did. He might have, though. So now we can start looting. Now we just make sure I shock ourselves, and we literally can just start deleting these guys. Open this on the way. And then kill that guy. High rolled breach ring. Oh man, we're rich.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Yeah, the grayscale, that is delirium, guys. But yeah, I basically spent about 15-ish exalts trying to get as much delirium and scarab juice as possible. Oops, I just dropped all my portal scrolls. There we go. Waken Sextant, that's fine. That, and I have been actively farming other things in League. And a little bit in Standard. I have a few projects in Standard I'm working on, but I'll get to those in another video. One thing I will say is it has to do with a whole bunch of making really pretty items that won't be around next League, or at least will be very hard to get. Though, I could be speculating wrong. We'll see. Either way. Let's see here. So as you see, we are pretty juiced up, pretty big, big juicy map here. Only one breach in the first area, meaning all of our breaches are going to be in the next one. So, go ahead and pick up that chisel. Alright, before I do anything, let's scourge. That's ready. Guard skills have increased cooldown recovery rate. Ooh, I'm going to show my friend that. He might like that. That's really strong if you use, like, what, Immortal Call? And any other guard skill. But yeah, alright. Let's go ahead and make our way to the next area. So, in this map we fought Kossis and Omni, so we got plenty of spinners that way.
We are friends now.
Obviously, we are stocking up pretty well on splinters for breach, so we have really nothing to fear on that. Alright, so now that I did that, what I want to do is do this. And make my way backwards. Medium cluster jewel is fine. Anything over here? Doesn't look like it. So now that I did that, I'm going to crack open this breach. There we go. But yeah, if I will say that if you guys are planning on spinning on MTXs, one of the MTXs this league I really enjoyed. I basically decided to spoil myself a little bit and get that. It was something I really enjoyed. As far as this build goes, I will say that if you don't like busted builds that completely crack the game right open, don't play this. It's not going to be around after this league for sure. It's way too busted. However, I will say that if you do like taking advantage of this kind of stuff before they nerf it and gut it, go for it. This is definitely reminiscent of some of the older builds that used to walk in Cyrus Storms and, you know, the old days. I never played Aura Stack or any of that, and this is kind of my dip into that kind of build. Or at least that power level of a build, how OP it is to just not die. As you see, we are pretty much having zero issues clearing. We have the damage. We are not missing any damage in the slightest. Things are dying really quickly on a 40% deli map. I will say that this is most likely doable on a 100% deli map, but one thing I don't like about 100% deli maps is that usually they are so laggy it makes it like just not fun to play, at least on a PS4 console. So I usually refuse to do 5-orb maps. But yeah, obviously you can do any content with this, whether it be 5-orb or bossing or deep delving or anything you want. The damage for deep delving I think starts to fall off at a certain point, but I'm almost at 600 and I haven't felt a single dip in my damage. I've felt things like rares with extra life. For example, they have life from the node and then extra life as a modifier. Sit there and take a little bit more time. And I actually fought someone's Owl the other day on 2-man HP, which took me about 8 to 10 minutes to kill, but he was on depth 800 or 900, so, I mean, depth 900 Owl with 2-man HP was just really ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that again. I'll try and do it 1-man or maybe up my damage somewhere, but yeah, that's something I wanted to try it out. I tried to help him out, and it ended up lagging because it was on his server, unfortunately. Almost had him dead, too. Kill everything we can. Alright, we got handed. Now let's go like this. Crack the blood crucible. Oh, looks like we accidentally cracked the breach too. Okay, well, I guess we're going into the breach. Can't even see. I think it's Zulf. Yeah, it's a Zulf. I saw the fire. Alright. Get as much of this loot as we can. Local, need your aid, huh? Okay, well. Oh, map sustain. Got a glacier back. So the reason I'm choosing Glacier is because it's a very short map. I still get a lot of stacks inside the Scourge, and it's because it's such a short map, I can get as much as I can as far as my value on the clear and everything like that. My explodes feel like they do a lot more in little close places like this. So is this a beast? Yeah, last beast. Yes, it is.
There are no more worthy beasts nearby.
All right, buddy.
So, I now will go feed the ones we caught.
Let's see.
Risky choice.
This. Do this. This. Oh, oh! I didn't even see the breach. Okay. It's my fault. I should have paid attention. Oh, this is Lunatol. There we go. This is the one that is harder to get, so I'm glad to get this one for sure. Kill this guy. Okay.
My mana is gone.
Yeah, as you saw there, we turned around and shot that pack, and they just got annihilated. That's our clear all at once, just exploding everything. I will say, if you don't want to use increased crit, you can use increased AoE, and that'll make your clear just so much better. You'll probably delete a couple of screens at a time. I don't need this retweet either. Switch reveal Natal, switch reveal Natal. How many do we get? 15. Nice. Alright. So, what I'm going to do... Alright, let's just... I didn't even see this one, so we're going to get this Expedition Logbook increase. Get this. Get all these. Let's try and pick up as many runic monsters as we can possibly get.
That should make things interesting.
I just gotta make sure I don't hit that one that's immune to lightning. I think it's up here. Yeah, it's up here. So if I do that, I'm kind of SOL or cold, I think. I know because of hybrid damage I can use one of these, but let's see, what is this? Corrupted items, artifacts found. None of these are too crazy. Let's do that one. Oh, my alarm, I need to turn it off. There we go. Alright. And let's go ahead and take care of these real quick. Exotic coinage, yeah. Another big thing to take out of this is obviously if you're doing these and you get a logbook. Logbooks are pretty expensive. On console, they're roughly 60 to 70 C for so-so ones. And like really good ones like Sun with 3 mods and stuff, you can sell for easily for an Exalt. Just something to think of if you're deciding to do this on console. I don't know what they're with on PC. I don't really play PC, so... Fortunately, we didn't find a logbook, but it's fine. We got a lot of loot this map, so another glacier. Oh, looks like I'm doing this now. Oh. Well, that's the downside. If you don't shock yourself, you just die. So we lost that last ritual, but it's kind of whatever. It happens, unfortunately. Let's put on all our auras, and then we can just start dropping off our loot. Just put everything in here. Yeah, we got a pretty good amount of loot this map, so it's pretty good for us. Make sure we just get everything in here. What is this? Minion knife? Alright, whatever. Perception, trap. Alright. Let's go back in. And because we failed that ritual, we can just actually take out of that ritual immediately. But yeah, I hope everyone's holiday season has been really amazing. I hope you all got really cool gifts and presents, and I hope that your endeavors in PoE were fun. If you do enjoy my content, I do appreciate you leaving a like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to end the video here and just continue the map off the video. Just because I need, it's not much. I just gotta go to the end of and kill the boss and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll leave it with showing you how cool this new gear looks. If I take off my belt, you can actually see it a little better. This is from the supporter pack. I don't normally promote supporter packs, but I'm going to promote this one. It's really, really cool looking. So yeah, if you guys like that kind of thing, go ahead and check it out. It also comes with a bow, which is the real big reason why I like it so much. I'm a bow main, so every single character I have has a bow. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, see you guys later and have a good one.